Okay. And I think we're live.
I don't see anything yet, but it may be on a 10-second delay or 8-second delay. So we'll see what comes up here in a second. I don't see nothing yet. Oh, there went something.
There we go. Yep, we're up.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my God, we suck at this so bad. All right.
There's nothing on the screen though. So.
Well, it's because I'm showing my screen.
I mean, on the YouTube screen, there's nothing.
Yes, there is.
Not the one
I'm no, because I'm seeing it. E. Ortiz is talking, man. What's up, brother? He says, "Oh no, not 007." Yes,
I see that. Yeah, but I got nothing on my screen, so just saying.
See if there's a play button in the middle of it. You might have to hit play.
Not seeing anything.
Refresh it.
Refresh. Now I'm getting a play thing. Okay. And sound is off, so we're good.
So just so you know, man, Tom is older than
everyone.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'm sitting here as I'm chewing. Welcome to Nerd Culture Clash, the show where we try to talk about some of the interesting things going on in the nerd world today, but usually end up going off in some random tangents because that's just how we roll.
I'm your host.
Yep. We interrupt each other too.
Yeah, we do that.
I'm your host, Comic Book Bob. Join me as always, my co-host for the Nerd Culture Class, Tom the Immortal Cummings.
Hello.
And coming back once again is my good buddy, Fine Ass Frank. Say hi, Frank.
Hello, Fine Ass Frank. HW, baby. I just want to shout out to myself because it was my birthday 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Frank.
Big 5-0. So
Frank, I remember that.
Frank's getting up there with it. I'm like, I remember those good old days. My knees only hurt half the time. Oh my God! Speaking about our knees hurting, man. Frank and I, Frank has been on vacation, so he's been working out with me. And last night we did leg day. Oh my God, man!
Yeah, how you feeling there, Frank?
I feel fine. The other guy, the big guy, is not feeling.
What we did is because I changed it up because there's a type of squat that that my workout usually does, and I just don't like it because I don't like because my balance is not good and everything. So we substituted goblet squats, and no, sir, I don't get. Dude, how do they know?
I don't know,
but let's just wait. It'll pass.
It'll pass.
E. Ortiz says, "Happy belated birthday, Frank."
Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, everybody, if you would like, you can go to E. Ortiz's channel and like and subscribe there. E. Ortiz is a great dude. Drop the link to your YouTube channel in there, buddy. And yeah, he's a good dude. Are you doing the bullpen tonight, man? I'm gonna go ahead and wait for him to speak for a second. But yeah, no, like I said, I substituted that goblet squats in there, man, and oh my goodness, it hurt. We were
Angus is here.
Yeah, by the time we got done, we were friggin' rubber legging out of that friggin' gym, man. What's up, Black Angus? Black Angus is another dude. You know what? I gotta make him a mod here. Yep, he's doing. A. Ortiz is doing his bullpen 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. Go ahead and drop your link in there, bro, so that anybody that watches this can, the few people that do watch this are gonna be able to come over there and watch you. But
give you a bump.
Hey Tom, you're a mod, right?
Possibly.
Do you have a blue wrench?
I do not see one. I got a little thing at the bottom for chat.
Hang on a minute. Let me boomer. Maybe boomer.
Yeah, I thought you had done that before, but
yeah, I'm dumb. I'm always freaking screwing around here.
Yeah.
We're so unorganized here. All right. Yeah, Vikings here. Hell, but hey, hell yourself there, brother. Okay. There you go. Go ahead and drop a link to your channel in there, Angus. And Tom, we'll see here. Manage moderators. What the heck?
Well, you went down the rabbit hole again.
He's stuck in the rabbit hole.
Shut up, dude. Okay. What I'm trying to do is you're in the chat right now, aren't you, Tom?
Believe so. So let me see this.
Type something in there, man. Get on with the. I'm working on it, man. We're boomer in here. Type something in the chat, Frank. I'm out, Tom.
There you go.
Okay. There. Now you're a moderator. All right. Now I can get off here and stop this crap. All right. Let's get on with the show.
Yes.
Okay. So as we saw, and as Ortiz was talking about earlier, 007 has been replaced. Captain Marvel actress Lashana Lynch, who played Monica Rambeau in Captain Marvel, is set to take over as 007 in the new James Bond movie, incidentally directed by an ultra-feminist.
If I read the article right, she's not set to take over. She's going to be in there with Daniel Craig as another 00.
No. She is going to be 007.
Oh,
when the movie starts, Bond is retired.
Yes, James Bond is retired,
and she is replacing him as 007. And some indie books that need a little love right now. Yeah, dude, go ahead and post them in there, man. We're actually going to talk about one at the end of this because what I'm going to try and do from now on is I'm going to try and plug at least one indie book every show. But okay, let's get into this and then we can discuss the situation here. Okay. A new report indicates that Captain Marvel actress Lashana Lynch will play 007 in the upcoming James Bond film. The Daily Mail reports Lynch will play 007 after Daniel Craig's James Bond retires to Jamaica. Okay. The Daily Mail's source states that there is a pivotal scene at the start of the film where M says, "Come in, 007," and in walks Lashana, who is this black beautiful and a woman. The source adds, "It's a popcorn dropping moment. Bond is still Bond, but he's been replaced as 007 by this stunning woman." Let me take a swig here. This also, excuse me. The source also adds that Craig's James Bond attempts to seduce Lynch's character. Well, of course, because he's Bond. Yeah. Bond, of course, is sexually attracted to the new female 007 and tries his usual seduction tricks, but is baffled when they don't work on a brilliant young black woman who basically rolls her eyes at him and has no interest in jumping into his bed. Well, certainly not at the beginning. They also informed the Daily Mail that the term Bond girl is forbidden and now referred to as Bond women. All right, I don't have a problem with that. This report comes after the James Bond film added Solo, a Star Wars story actress Phoebe Waller-Bridge to provide changes to the upcoming. See, this is where I'm starting to think the movie's going to go off the rails. Waller-Bridge was reportedly added to the film to give it a makeover for the Me Too era. Okay, so there's warning, that's like okay. That's the first warning klaxon right there for me. The source goes on to state, Lashana is absolutely brilliant, and Phoebe's script is as sharp as funny as you would expect. This Bond pays tribute to some of the earlier films with a lot of humor. They also add, and here's the thing, the humor in the Bond films, it's a little tongue-in-cheek, but it's not, I prefer the Bond film where the humor is kind of underdone, you know what I mean? Where it's more of an action film, and then every once in a while there might be a little joke in there, kind of like the first couple of Avenger films.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. If there's too much humor in it, then it's like, you're gonna hit like the era of Bond I really wasn't a fan of, which was the Roger Moore Bonds, where it got a little too quippy for me.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Sean Connery guy.
Hey, Sean Connery is the best Bond ever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's the first. He's always going to be the best. But okay, let's go ahead and be back in there. They also add this is a Bond for the modern era who appeal to younger generation. While sticking true to what we all expect in a Bond film, there are spectacular chases, chase sequences, and fights, and Bond is still Bond, but he's having to learn to deal with the world of #MeToo. Oy vey. Okay. While Bridge previously spoke about what her vision of Bond was, there's been a lot of talk about whether or not the Bond franchise is relevant now because of who he is and the way he treats women. I think that's bollocks. I think he's absolutely relevant now. It has just got to grow. It has just got to evolve. And the important thing is the film treats the women properly. He doesn't have to. He needs to be true to his character. This is the thing that kind of troubles me when she says that. He doesn't have to. He needs to be true to his character. Bond, I mean, Bond is always, he's absolutely a player. He's absolutely, he's a super macho guy. But he never treated women badly. Did he?
No.
I mean, no movie I ever saw did he he never beat a woman up or anything. He never wasn't there one where he got into kind of a slap fight with a woman.
Well, there were the two was it in Diamonds Are Forever. The two women in that were
assassins.
Guarding what's his name, the Texas guy in that movie.
Yeah,
when he had to go in and rescue him.
Yeah, the only time he did any kind of violence,
but they're bad guys, so
yeah, it was when they were trying to kill him.
Yeah,
like when Famke Janssen's character in was it Goldeneye?
Yes, Goldeneye.
When she was trying to kill him, it was like, yeah, at that point, all the bets are off. When she's trying to strangle you to death,
yeah,
you're gonna put a bullet in her. So, but being abusive, he's never been abusive to anybody, right?
No. The only time he's ever gotten any kind of physicality is when it's life and death.
Yeah. Just real quick on the channel, E. Ortiz put up Chango. He put up the link to Unbreathable Skunk Girl. Yeah. I have done my PSAs. One last plug for my channel. He put it up there and he said Sean Connery's the best Connery. Sean Connery's the best Bond. Yes, he is. I think that's pretty much universal. But so yeah, like when she says this, he just has to treat women properly. I'm like, okay, what does that entail? She adds, I just want to make sure that they get those pages though, that Lashana, Leah, and Anna open them up and go, I can't wait to do that. As an actress, I very rarely had that feeling early in my career. That brings me so much pleasure to know that I'm giving that to an actress. This report from Daily Mail comes after James Bond producer Barbara Broccoli, that's funny, spoke to The Guardian in October of last year. She said Bond is male. He's a male character. He was written as a male, and I think he'll probably stay as a male, she adds, and that's fine. We don't have to turn male characters into women. We just create more female characters and make the stories fit those characters. I'm 100% behind that. Like we were talking earlier, like if they want to do like another like a spin-off of the James Bond movies and do like another 00, I'm 100% behind that. Like they've done a couple of movies with female spies, especially recently, that were actually pretty cool. Like what's the name of the one with now my brain's completely blanking on me because it always does that to me. She played the evil queen in the last Snow White film.
You're talking about Angelina Jolie?
No, not Angelina Jolie.
Oh.
I said the last it was the
Huntsman movie?
Yeah, the Huntsman movie.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't see it.
Oh, for God's sake. I can't even, my brain's gonna make me. I'm gonna go look it up. Yep. Here we go. Okay.
But Bond's debonair, he's suave, he's a man's man. He is a spy. He's supposed to be doing whatever he can to get his mission done.
Right. Charlize Theron. That's the thing about it.
There you go. But what he does whatever he has to do to get the information or get the upper edge on the villain.
Right. And a lot of the seduction stuff that he does is for that reason. Like he's basically trying to get the information or stuff for his mission. It's one of those things where it's kind of like did you see that movie Red Sparrow?
No.
With what's her name from Hunter Games? Jennifer Lawrence from the Hunter Games. Like she uses the way she uses sex in that movie. That's the way Bond uses it in a lot of his movies. She used it like a weapon. You know, it was like I need to get this thing, and I'm going to use whatever tool I have to get it. That's the whole idea behind what Bond does. You know. So when she said this, she's like, let's just create more female characters and make the stories fit those female characters. I'm 100% behind that. I like this actress. She looks great. You know, I've seen her in a couple other things. She is a good actress. If they want to do a movie centered around her as another 00, I'm down for that. That would be cool. But and again, I'll be completely honest. I'm not the biggest James Bond fan. I know you're a much bigger James Bond fan than I am, Frank. So your opinion on this is probably more relevant. But for me, it's like it's the same problem with the whole thing with like replacing with changing the character of Ariel. The reason why fans don't like it is because they're fans. They're fans, and fans is short for fanatic. And when you mess with something that people are fanatical about, it doesn't make a difference what it is that you mess with. They don't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if they had changed if Ariel was being played by say a white woman, but they changed and she doesn't have red hair, they're going to be upset that she doesn't have red hair. Okay, it's just when you're a fan of something and you're fanatical about something, like I'm a fanatical Star Trek fan. I hated the new movies, not because of the actors. The cast was perfect. It's because the stories and the world that they inhabited and
was radically different.
Radically different from Star Trek. It wasn't Star Trek. I think a lot of the reaction that's coming to this stuff like this is from that kind of place where they're like, look, this is what we like. Stop screwing with what we like.
Yeah, if you want to make a movie, your own version of a movie that doesn't tie to something else, then go for it. With Bond, if you have her as a 008 or 009 or 005, I don't care her number. If you want to make a movie with her and Bond together, you just don't call it James Bond. You do something else as a title.
Yeah,
and have James Bond and her in the movie together.
Well, that's kind of what they're doing.
But I mean, the whole movie. I mean, but not a retired Bond, a full 30-something Bond and her together. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Or, like you said, a solo movie. That's fine with me.
Yeah. Real quick, in the chat, Durkin said, "Incredible Sex is the best Bond." Incredible Sex is the best Bond. Yep. All right. I can't disagree with that, man. Yeah, shout out to Durkin. Thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate it. Thanks to everybody that's in the chat right now. If you could like it and share it, that'd be awesome. I know it's going to be pretty light today because John Malin is launching Graveyard Shift, the second book for Graveyard Shift right now. I completely forgot about that.
At this very moment.
Yeah, it's going to be sparse in here, but I appreciate you guys stopping by it. But Durkin said JJ Trek wasn't Star Trek, nor were they very good. I agree. I think they could have been good. I think the cast was really good.
They did a good job of casting.
Yeah.
Everybody that they cast for that, they did a good job.
Yeah, so they did a great job for casting.
Writing and directing, not so much.
Yeah, it's just the feel of it was just wrong, man. It felt like JJ was trying to do Star Wars in the Star Trek universe. But Durkin said if you want to make your own version of an IP, make Orville, which is also Orville is cool, man. Have you watched any of that, Tom?
I've not seen it yet. People keep recommending it. I
Orville,
gotta sit down and watch it sometime.
I've seen
Orville
I've seen every episode. That is great. Seth MacFarlane is it's a good series. I mean,
JJ's Trek casting was excellent. I want to see the blonde chick more. Yeah, the I can't remember her name now. The one who played Carol Marcus. I'm surprised she wasn't in the third movie because, like, there's Carol Marcus is actually a pretty important character in Star Trek mythology, especially with Kirk, because that's his son's mother. So, yeah, the Orville, man, the Orville is like what you would get if Star Trek had like a smart ass sense of humor. But especially the second season actually dealt with a lot of really interesting and pretty heavy topicals subjects, and it was really good.
Yeah, I think the reason I never got into it was all the previews for the first season made it look too silly.
Yeah,
I was like, I really don't want silly Star Trek. But you know what? People have been telling me that it is good, that it's not just silly Star Trek. So
no,
yeah,
there are some silly moments in it where it's like,
oh yeah,
like this is really happening.
Well,
like,
so Seth MacFarlane, if it wasn't at least somewhat silly, I would be worried.
But it actually downplays it.
Yeah, it was silly to start, but once the first season got going, and especially near the end, it got a lot more serious at the end of the first season, and then it just got even better this second season.
Yeah, a lot of people like a lot of people I know really like that show, but yeah, like I said, man, it completely depends on which one of these two ladies that are talking, which one of them is really going to be more in charge of what's going to happen here. I know the concern is a lot of people are worried that this is just a way for them to backdoor a woman into Bond's role. They're like, like this one she takes the number, and the next movie she takes the name. And I'll be honest, with my first initial reaction to this, that's exactly what I said. I was like, oh, well, here we go. But you've kind of got two conflicting perspectives coming here between Waller-Bridge. Is it Waller-Bridge or Walter-Bridge? It's Waller-Bridge. Between Waller-Bridge and Barbara Broccoli, which I just think is funny as hell. Barbara Broccoli. She's chopping broccoli. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, if it's just what they're saying here, and Bond is still the Bond in this movie, then okay, I'm cool with that. But given the climate that we live in and whatnot, I can understand people being skeptical and being worried that this is just them attempting to, like I said, backdoor her in. So it remains to be seen.
How did Craig become Bond, if you remember that?
I don't remember.
He killed the other Bond.
Did he?
Or maybe he wasn't. Oh, maybe it was 004 that he killed.
Yeah, no, there was a movie where he killed another 00 agent.
Yeah, the first one starts that way. The first one with Craig, he kills the other one, and he actually kind of gets in trouble because he's not a 00 at that point, and he shouldn't have killed him.
Yeah, but it wasn't that he was killing the Bond. It was just that he killed another 00. And also there was the whole thing where a lot of people were pushing for Idris Elba to become the next Bond. I was down with that idea, man. So it's not so much. It's just it's you don't want the character to change at its core. You know what I mean? And it's if you change something too drastically, it becomes something completely different. And that's what I think a lot of fans are worried about. They're like, look, we're okay with, it's not a racial thing. It's not even really a gender thing. It's this is what this thing is, and if you change it too much, it becomes something completely different. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens going forward. Durkin says Orville does have some woke moments, but they actually go into those subjects and discuss them rather than saying you're wrong and that's just how it is. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I have no problem with them wanting to do subject that kind of material and that's kind of subject matter, but you have to be realistic about it. It's when they basically come down with a totalitarian hammer that's when I'm out. Because, like I said, if I'm completely honest, man, I'm actually more of a center leftist than anything else. But I also don't believe in being completely freaking insane and unrational. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this goes. And going from this to another subject of similar caliber, Scarlett Johansson walks back comments about political correctness in casting decisions. So, if you're not familiar with this story, Scarlett Johansson's kind of been under fire for this kind of thing for a while now. She caught a lot of crap from some people about playing the character of the Major in Ghost in the Shell, and then she caught some crap for there was a movie she was going to do called Rub and Tug, I think it was what it's called, where she was going to play a transgender person, and the outrage mob completely lost their mind. And she stepped away from the role. And when she stepped away from the role, it killed the friggin' movie. Because the whole reason the movie was getting made is because she was largely the person pushing for it. So when she stepped away, Hollywood basically said, yeah, well, we're not interested if you're not connected to it. But we'll go into this. She made some comments, and it turns out that they were actually taken out of context. So this article kind of clears it up. Last week, Avengers Endgame actress Scarlett Johansson turned heads with her comments related to political correctness and casting decisions. She has walked back on those comments, claiming that they were taken out of context. She further states that she supports diversity in film. And actually, I went through and I read like the whole thing, and she is true. And she is true. It is true that God, my vocabulary sucks. Yeah, it is true that it was kind of misquoted because they do what they do a lot of times. They just pick a little piece of something out and then they focus on that, and the rest of the discussion kind of paints a clearer picture. The comments came from a story by the Daily Mail UK that cited an interview with As If magazine. In the story, the actor said, "I should be allowed to play any person, any tree, or any animal," but it seems that the British publication did not release the entire statement. I'll be honest, like right here when she says this, I should be allowed to play any person, any tree, or any animal. That's true. That's true. Huge Ass is here. He says, "What's going on, fellas? We're rambling about stupid crap like we usually do." And we were boomering it hard up. We were boomering hard in the beginning, man. But appreciate you being here, brother. And hopefully we won't bore you guys to death. This last Saturday, the actress released her full statement. In fact, was this: in an ideal world, any actor should be able to play anybody, and art in all forms should be immune to political correctness. 110% agree with that. I 110% agree with that.
Yep.
I recognize that in reality, there is a widespread discrepancy amongst my industry that favors Caucasian cisgender actors, and that not every actor has been given the same opportunities that I have been privileged in. I think there's a lot more factors involved in that statement. By the way, is this all coming in clear for you guys?
It's fuzzy.
I'm sorry.
Well, when it's highlighted, I can see it.
Well, for everybody that's watching, hopefully this is coming in okay. I'm like I said, I'm trying some new stuff out here, guys, and it might be working, it might not. But I'm at Taco Bell in honor of Graveyard Shift. That's awesome. For everybody who doesn't know, which is probably my Tom and Frank here, John Malin, the creator of Graveyard Shift, his favorite restaurant is Taco Bell.
Nice.
And some of us we've all been trying to get healthier. I've been doing some like little clips up. I'll probably put another clip up tonight where some of us in the community are trying to get healthier, get better, and we're trying to tag in some of the other people like Ethan and John. I actually threw a comment up to John and I was like, "John, put down the Taco Bell and eat a salad." Yeah, that's just a little shout out to John Malin, which he, like I said, he's launching Graveyard Shift today, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be freaking huge. The Last Graveyard Shift. If you guys want to see my review of that, go check it out on my channel. I think I gave it a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
So for the first time crowdfunding your own book and everything, it wasn't bad. I mean, the art was fantastic. The story was interesting, but I felt like it was way too compressed. It felt like it was a 44-page book, I think. And it's the kind of story that needs to be like an 8-issue miniseries, so it needs to be like 3 times that size. You know what I mean? There's just too much compressed into such a small story. He will eat a taco salad for Taco Bell. Yeah, he probably will. But thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate that. But that's just a little call to that. But she says here, this comment that she makes, back to the story here. Sorry about that. Off on another tangent. Where she says that there's a wide discrepancy among industry that favors Caucasians, cisgender actors, and whatnot. I don't know that that's true so much for the industry today. I definitely think if you look in the past, you will see that. Because obviously you're looking through the lens of time. But if you look at today's field, I don't know that I agree with that statement. I definitely think that there are certain companies and certain industry professionals who might lean for that direction. Disney. But I don't know that that's actually necessarily true anymore. It definitely was in the past. I will 100% agree with that. Definitely in the past, but I don't know that that's true today. We'll talk about the Disney stuff more in a minute. Johansson criticized for roles. When it comes to diversity in casting, this isn't Scarlett's first rodeo. In fact, in 2 of her more recent non-Avenger films, Ghost in the Shell and Robin Tug, yeah, that's the name of it, she has had to deal with fierce criticism related to her casting. She was criticized by those within the transgender community for playing a transgender person in the film. Robin Tug, they were unhappy that a transgender person wasn't chosen for the film. However, it was Johansson's support that got the project off the ground in the first place. That's 100% true. And like I said, as they lost their friggin' mind about this, and the minute she stepped away and said, "Okay, go cast a transgender person," the studio just dropped it into
dropped out of it.
Yeah, they literally it just died on the vine. So on one hand, it's like, okay, I can understand you pushing for more people in your community to play more parts that are maybe designed for them, but at the end of the day, you got to have the best person for the job, and you also have to have the backing for it. So what's better? What's better that a non-transgender person is playing a transgender character, and that the movie gets made, and you're shining some light on your your community, or that person steps away and it never sees the light of day. So it's kind of like cutting off your nose to spite your face. And I'm hit with silence again.
Well, that is what happens. I know people that back in the day, during what was the Robin Williams movie, Garp or something like that.
World According to Garp.
World According to Garp. Yeah, and John Lithgow played a transgender person in it.
Yeah.
And since that day, I know somebody that since that day refuses to watch anything with John Lithgow in it because he played a transgender.
Yeah, you're gonna really?
Have to
like that.
And some people just can't get over it. And it's until they all die off.
Yeah.
You're going to have people that are just that's just not right.
No, and you know what? And if that's the case, that's fine. You live your life, be who you are. I have I live my life by a lot of sayings, and one of the sayings is, I would rather be hated for who I am than loved for something I'm not. And if that's your way of thinking, that's fine. But you don't have to go after somebody for thinking differently than you. Are you all talking about the World According to T.S. Garp? Was that the name of the book that was based off of?
I don't know.
All I've seen is the movie. I know the Robin Williams movie is called The World According to Garp.
Yes.
Hollywood is all about that G Mafia. Say no to the ginger side, dude. That was actually really weird when someone put that up. Someone put up this. There was a picture that someone put up of all these characters that have been race changed, and they're all freaking redheads. And it's like, yeah, they're calling it the ginger side. I think that was the title. TS being transsexual. No, I'm not sure. I don't think that's what it was. I think it was just called The World According to Garp. I don't know. I might be wrong. Yeah, don't quote me on that because I might be wrong. But yeah, it was. God dang it! I wish I had that thing up because there's all these redheaded characters. There was like 20 of them that got race changed or something like that, and it was like, what's up with the hate against the redheads, man? And then like that episode of South Park that popped in my head where Cartman was like talking about like the redhead kids have no souls.
Yeah, that's an old one.
Yeah. But anyway, and there was the case of Ghost in the Shell. Many non-Japanese in the West took offense to the fact that Scarlett Johansson would portray Major in the live-action classic film. Many in Japan didn't understand why there was a controversy to begin with. That was an interesting thing about that whole thing. They actually went to Japan and they asked them what they thought about it, and they were like, "Yeah, well, we don't care." It's like, So I really think that this is a Western thing. I really think that, like I said, you go to other cultures, and I think that they either they have their own issues, or they are so they're so busy dealing with real problems. They're like, yeah, we don't have problems. We don't have time to deal with your crap.
You're never going to make everybody happy with any movie that's made.
No, you're not.
Oh, never.
I mean, Rob, I'm going to butcher his name, but Dahl was not happy when Willy Wonka came out with Gene Wilder. He just absolutely hated that movie. That's his feeling on that. I mean, but for people to not see John Lithgow movies because of him playing somebody, 30 years ago?
Yeah.
Like 30 years ago.
I mean, hey, come on.
Yeah, and conversely, then like I said, and then there's people like this who are like, the exact opposite end of the spectrum. And I honestly think that if you're that touchy about something, I think you need to chill out a little bit because there's much worse problems in the world. And Durkin said gingers are literally one of the only groups of humans going extinct. Yeah, because red hair is a recessive gene, right? Am I wrong about that?
Well, first it's a pretty rare gene to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't know about recessive because, well, my kid is a redhead.
Mm-hmm.
I am not, but I know that there are redheads in my lineage, and his mom wasn't a redhead.
Yeah,
so she must have it too. But
I thought there was something where they said that the redhead, like it's like just like green eyes.
Yeah,
green
and
eyes.
that's another thing. If you're redhead, you have either green or blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't also have the green or the blue eyes, then you're not actually a redhead. You have to have
one of those two.
Right.
Yeah, I know that those traits go along together. But I did think I read something where they said that red hair and green eyes are actually a recessive trait, and that's why they're slowly disappearing.
Yeah, because you had isolated populations that had that trait, and now they're expanding out, and it's recessive, so it's going away.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, I love me a redhead, man.
And redheads are really, really screwed up. I mean, they're if you're a redhead and you go in for surgery, you make sure that the anesthesiologist knows that you're a redhead because it takes a lot more to knock them out than it does the average person.
That explains a lot, man. Because even though I love,
why did the Irish drink so much? Because they can.
Yeah.
Blue-eyed redheads are super rare. Blue eyes and redheads form the rarest combo on Earth. Most natural redheads will have brown eyes followed by hazel or green shades.
Yeah, but
What?
Yeah, man, it's just like that joke that Robin Williams used to do, where he said that the Irish who figured out the secret of life, then invented whiskey and forgot where they put it. So, it has an attraction factor to me too. If you're attracted to gingers, you are more attracted to someone if they have gingers. But if you aren't attracted, you are less attracted. Wait a minute. Let me read that again.
Basically, if you have the recessive gene, you will be more attracted to somebody that is a ginger than somebody who isn't.
Okay, if you are a ginger, you're more attracted to other gingers. Is that what that means? If you are attracted to gingers, you are more attracted to someone if they have gingers. But if you aren't attracted, you are less attracted. I'm going to need you to clarify that. Anyway, so yeah, so basically she clarified, Scarlett Johansson clarified it. Dude, this is what we do, man. We just go, otherwise they are a 5. So a person who is a ginger that is a 7, to someone who is attracted to ginger, then they are, okay. So basically, if you're attracted to gingers, they're more attractive to you than they would be to a person who isn't attracted to gingers. Like if you have like a kind of like a redhead fetish, and you see a redhead who like you would classify as like a 7, to you they'd be a 10, but to a normal person they would be like a 5 or a 7.
Okay,
that's what it said. It said if you like red hair, then the red-haired person is going to appear more attractive to you than maybe they actually are. Okay, thank you for clarifying that, man, because I was lost there for a second.
Well, Cartman and the other gingers didn't like the little orphan Annie that was wearing a red wig in South Park.
Oh my God. Anyway, we're not going to get into South Park. So Johansson clarified her statement. I don't know this is her necessarily walking back on it. I think this is just her saying, look, this is what I actually said. I still think that she's saying
walking back on a statement is when you say something and you're like, oh, well, that's not really what I meant. But if you come out and said, okay, they misquoted me there. Here is what, that's not walking back on a statement.
Yeah. So I think,
she was clarifying what she actually said.
Now, like I said, in the first half of like this, I agree with her 100% that in an ideal world, an actor should be able to play anybody they want, anybody or anything, and be immune to political correctness. 100% agree with her that. And I think that was at the core of what she was trying to say. She wasn't saying that I can play whatever I want and it doesn't matter. I think she was just saying that in an ideal world, we should be able to do that.
I mean, if you have a movie idea and you have a studio that backs you up with that, you should be able to roll with it the way you want to. Otherwise, the studio is just going to back out.
Right. But yeah, so I mean, she clarified her statement. I still agree with her. I think she should be able. I think she should be able to play anything she wants. I think anybody should be able to play anything they want. I know that, and understand that if you do play something, there's going to be that people disagree with. They're going to say that they disagree with it. And that's but that's just the way it is. You have to weigh, how drastic a change you want to make, and the effect that that's going to have on your bottom line. Because at the end of the day, the whole idea is to make a successful product. But all right, so moving on to that, to something a little more, not depressing. Why does attendance seem to be down at Disneyland? Okay, so if you guys have been keeping up on Star Wars or any of that stuff like that, actually, real quick before this says, Durkin said soon they'll have a problem with humans playing apes in Planet of the Apes. Yeah, dude, it's one of those things where it's like I don't care if you identify as a lawn chair, go live your life, but don't be stupid, and don't get bent on the shape of every little thing. Huge Ass says art shouldn't be suffering for the sake of politics. Politics should be suffering for the sake of art. I think politics just needs to shut the hell up. It's just like that lady who. Let me put it this way: when you start listening to people who say stupid crap like air conditioning is sexist, it's time to hit the reset button. And that literally happened. There was, I can't remember, somebody posted it in Twitter, and I just like, you know what, I'm going to log off of social media today because I can't take this anymore. But yeah, some lady literally said that air conditioning was sexist. So that's the kind of mentality you're going to live with. It's like your boy Zach said, man, it's 12 psychos trying to dictate everything on Twitter. And if you basically bend the knee to that, then you're never going to be happy. But moving on, so Galaxy's Edge opened up, and Frank and I were actually talking about this earlier, and Disneyland was basically banking on Galaxy's Edge to be this huge, because it's Star Wars, okay?
Yeah.
And they spent a ridiculous amount of money on Galaxy's Edge. And Galaxy's Edge was supposed to be basically it increased the entire area of Disneyland by something like, was it like 30%? Like something ridiculous. Yeah, it's like something crazy. Like it increased the size of the freaking resort, the resort to like an insane amount. And then when it first opened, it did fairly well, and then it immediately started to die. And the attendance at the park overall is way down. And a lot of people, at first they kept denying it. They said, no, it's not true. And then people started posting photo evidence of it. And the most recent photo evidence was an aerial photo. And I don't know if this article actually has it in it. No, it doesn't. But there was an aerial photo taken on the 4th of July, which is one of the biggest, which is usually one of the biggest attendance days for Disneyland. And literally, it wasn't a ghost town, but you could tell that there weren't a lot of people there. There were nowhere near the number of people that you would think would be there, and especially in Galaxy's Edge. So immediately the whole thing with them saying, "Oh no, everything's fine." No, there's like 8-hour waits. There's like an 8-hour wait to get on the Millennium Falcon ride at Galaxy's Edge. All this BS. It's been completely debunked, and now they're actually coming out and admitting that attendance is down. Durkin said, "When I heard that Galaxy's Edge was a flop, I laughed because that was obvious that it would be. I'd have more fun storming Area 51 than being at Galaxy's Edge and having more chance of seeing an alien." Dude, I posted all right, another tangent here. I posted a video on my Twitter to this dude. Like, I followed Joe Rogan, and this dude put up a video, this crazy rant about he's like this crazy, like, uber high testosterone bodybuilder biker looking guy, and he's just going off on this rant about, "Oh, you freaking nerds, talk about going down to Area 51 Starman so you can see an alien. You should be getting in the gym, hanging and banging." Dude, it's one of the funniest things I have seen in months, dude. I laughed so freaking hard at this video. I'll find the link of it and I'll put it up in the chat here in a second. But oh my God, it was so damn Robert Frank. Yes, I think that's the name of the guy, Robert Frank. Oh my God, dude, that video was so funny. And yeah, so when you mentioned Area 51, that just reminded me of that. Sorry. Okay, back on this. It's really funny, dude. He's got his bandana pulled so low it's like covering his eyes. he's like this huge tattooed up dude, and he's all like sweaty and angry, but his bandana is like 4 inches wide, and it completely comes down to his nose.
Well, have you seen the gym footage of the guy working out training for storming Area 51?
Yeah, I saw that too, where he's pushing the dude in the alien suit. Yeah,
carrying him on his back, doing stair steps, and
yeah. But dude, yeah, check out that video, man. It was so, oh my God, it was so funny. But So anyway, this article I read this article, and this is actually pretty interesting. And I think a couple other people have talked about this article as well. But it goes into some of the reasons why attendance is down, and and Galaxy's Edge is definitely a part of it. But there's another part as well, and it just feeds right back into some of the statements I said earlier, which was that Disney is freaking greedy as hell. Durkin, I hope all those people who are deciding to storm Area 51 realize that once they cross that line, they become instant targets for military target practice. Dude, that's one of the things I'm going like, you guys realize that Area 51 is a legit military installation. Like
a legit secret military installation.
Yeah, it's like if you go busting up in there,
well, we wanted to find out.
I don't think that they're going to, but technically they can shoot you.
Well, wanted to find out if this will work. Let's try it.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking, but anyway, so let's read this a little bit. Why does attendance seem to be down at Disneyland this summer? I've lost what on earth is happening this summer at Disneyland. I've lost count of the number of people who have asked, emailed, or messaged me that question over the last couple of weeks. With its new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge land, Disneyland braced itself for record-setting crowds by raising tickets. There's one big problem: and annual price passes and remaking pathways around the park to both reduce the size and improve the flow of crowds, but they never came. Instead, Disney reported Disneyland Resort visitors have been enjoying some of the shortest wait times in years. Increased capacity with the addition of a new ride and locations inside Galaxy's Edge have helped to dilute crowd levels, but attendance clearly appears to be down across the resort this summer. The observed decrease in wait times and crowd sizes throughout Disneyland and Disney California Adventure are simply too significant to pass off as the result of adding one new ride and a few food and beverage locations in Galaxy's Edge. So why did this happen? Why did the biggest, most expensive expansion in the history of Disney's original theme park appear to lead to fewer people visiting? And then she goes on to the writer goes on to say that they don't think it should lay the blame solely on Galaxy's Edge. I do agree that Galaxy's Edge is not the only thing, but it is a big part of why this is happening because, as Frank and I were talking, Galaxy's Edge is not based off of the original trilogy. And in fact, the location that Galaxy's Edge is made to represent doesn't exist in any of the movies at all. It's a location that's mentioned in one of the books, I believe. So right off the bat, you've got
a mainstream amusement park, and you go with an obscure reference from one book,
right, with no recognizable landmarks and no recognizable people, and it's all based around the new trilogy that is at the very least problematic. This was a big mistake from the beginning. And that, because of the backlash against what they have done of what they're calling Disney Star Wars, because they did not bank on the original trilogy, which is still way more popular, and to the point that if you go into the Disney stores, they have almost nothing of the new trilogy for sale there. Almost everything they have for sale is from the original trilogy. And there was actually a couple of videos that some people did a while back where they actually went and they asked them, how come there are, where's all the Kylo Ren toys? Where's all these toys? Where's all the new trilogy toys? And they're like, they just weren't selling.
Yeah, so, they just don't sell.
Yeah, it's like we put the stuff in the stores that sells, and that's the way. And bottom line, Disney at the end of the day, they're all about their bottom line.
Yeah.
So if it ain't making money, it goes away. So not basing Galaxy's Edge around the original trilogy weakened Galaxy's Edge appeal, and because it weakened Galaxy's Edge, it weakened the appeal. It didn't bring in it didn't make people willing to pay the increased prices, and that's the second thing that Disney did that was a big problem.
They jacked the prices this year.
They always their prices always go up. Around,
or during the summer, during vacation season.
Yeah, their prices always go up. Around 10% or so. Okay. This year, however, reports are coming in that they increased them upwards of 25%.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and when they jacked them up by 10% last year, I think last year was the first time that it went up to, it was like $90 a person. This year, I believe that it's 120. It's 120 to 140 per person. That's a pretty big jump, dude. That's like a $30-$40 jump.
Yeah.
And they were banking on the appeal of Star Wars and a Galaxy's Edge to get people to eat that cost. The problem is, because of the damage that's been done to the Star Wars franchise, because of people backing off of it, it didn't make up that difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the people who were interested in like I'll be honest with you, I would like to go see Galaxy's Edge, even though it's not based in anything from the Star Wars universe. It'd still be interesting to see. I'm not going to pay $120-$140 to see it.
No, and that's just to get in.
Yeah.
If you want to build a lightsaber, build a droid, or do this or do that, it's
yeah, dude. And that's the other thing too. There's one ride. There's only one ride, and all the other attractions are overpriced food that isn't very good, or attractions that cost somewhere these like build your own lightsaber, build your own droid thing that cost between $300 and $2,000.
Well, you can build your own lightsaber. I think the video watched on YouTube, $200 to build a lightsaber.
Yeah, like
$200, $200
or $300, and then the people are saying that about 3 days to a week afterward, their lightsabers broke. They stopped working. So it's the idea that Disney thought that with all the backlash that was going on, the rejection of Galaxy's Edge, that they could jack the prices up at their park like this is ridiculous. And they're wondering why their attendance is down. It's because you got greedy and you got stupid. It's and like Frank and I was talking about, like, you want to bring these people in, model this thing after friggin' Mos Eisley's.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you at some point, that's probably what they're going to do. They're probably going to have to, at some point, they're going to have to admit that this isn't working. They're going to have to shut down Galaxy's Edge. They're definitely, I guarantee you, they're definitely going to make changes at the other park because it's not ready at the other park. I guarantee you they're going to make changes there. If they don't, they're friggin' idiots.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to go with the original trilogy. I guarantee you at some point they're going to backtrack and going to go to the original trilogy. People want to see the things that they know. They want to see the original stormtroopers walking around. They want to see Darth Vader. They want to see references to the characters that they love. And if you don't have anything, you don't even have landmarks that appear to be similar to the stuff that people grew up loving, when are they going to care? So you can't defend on Galaxy's Edge to make people eat this. And the other thing too is, if you're not going to offer them what they want, they're not going to eat that increased cost. I mean, the idea of paying $120, $140 for a ticket, screw you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so Hugh just said Area 51 is a distraction. The real alien holding place is somewhere nowhere, some nowhere place out there no one talks about. Yeah, Dolce
It's
Base,
called
man.
Dayton, Ohio, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. That's where we are.
No, dude, it's Dolce Base, man.
Let's storm Wright-Patterson Air Force Base then.
Yeah, Dolce Base, man. Look up your urban legends and stuff, man. Dolce Base. Hugh Jazz said, I have 3 Ultra Sabers that I couldn't get at Galaxy's Edge. They don't have orange ones, and the hilts I got were more unique, sparring ready too. Yeah, dude, that's the thing. If you're gonna make people pay that much money, you better give them something on par with what they can get outside of the park.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're selling it in the park, that doesn't mean that it's okay for it to break.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to be able to make them, but if you have limited options and limited colors, just get one from Ultra Saber and save yourself the trouble.
Yeah, dude, and those Ultra Sabers are freaking awesome, man. So, yeah, like they go on and they basically go in and try to say that, you know, what are the reasons for the attendance being down. Number one, I say, like I said, they had this poll down here. I agree with the number one. I think the ticket prices is number one. I think Disney just got greedy, and which is no surprise considering what they did to friggin' Ollie. You can see our last episode about that. I talk about that, which is freaking disgusting. But I don't think this fear of crowds is actually the number two reason. I think the number two reason is the quality of Galaxy's Edge. I think it's just not. It's not the Galaxy Edge. It's terrible. It just isn't great. It's like we were talking about Star Trek. The cast is great. The world just isn't Star Trek. And
I actually think Fear of Crowds would have been a really big one for this summer because they were really promoting it. Yeah, they're really promoting it. And I know, I mean, me personally, I'm like, when things like that come out, I'm like, I'll give it a year or two and then go then, because it just takes from the experience to be just stuck in there with a bunch of other people. So
that may be I definitely, you know, I agree that fear of crowds might be a part of it, but once the word got out, I don't think that's what it was. I think it's just that people were looking at Galaxy's Edge going, yeah, I don't care about any of this, you know.
Where's the stormtroopers? Where's the Wookiees? Where's the Ewok? Where's Tusken Raiders? Where's Han, Luke, Leia?
Yeah, like forget even just the main characters. Where's the other creatures that inhabit the world? Where's the Jawas? Like you said, where's the Tusken Raiders? Where's the Gamorrean guards? Where's all of this stuff?
It's on Tatooine. It's another planet. That's why they're not there.
Yeah.
They're in Area 51.
That's right. So if everybody dresses up as a Star Wars character and rushes Area 51, they might just let some people in. Thinking, how'd you get out?
Yeah. But
your day pass is done. Come on, let's go.
He's like, you're supposed to be downstairs writing more movies for us. It's just this, and me and Frank were talking about ways that they could fix this too, like the whole lightsaber thing. Instead of going to a kiosk and building your lightsaber, actually make it into like a storyline where you have to go to different stores and shops to get the parts for it.
Send them on a quest.
Yeah, send them on a freaking quest. Have them, like, to get the power cell, they gotta go to like a junk dealer like Watto, and they gotta haggle with him to get it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, good, you know, just you know, you're eventually gonna get it. You just gotta play along.
I would say, but the thing is, as much as I would hate to work at Disney anyway, if I had to be Watto in that store,
oh my God,
I would be killing people by the end of my first day.
What you do is you put an animatronic Watto sitting on a counter, and then you just have like some program responses. Real quick in here, Durkin, not to be all drama, the last few days, someone has been trying to hack into my Steam account, coincidentally right after calling out War Companion Edwin. Just saw another one. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's I avoid that stuff. I would contact Steam and talk to them about it and see what they could do for you. But Huge Ass said they launched this new Star Park with a planet no one heard of, somewhat related to a galaxy they're closing out a trilogy on. The next Star Wars movie are in yet another galaxy. Disney has no direction. Yeah, they don't, man. They really don't. Huge Ass, it's confused marketing and they're diluting the property. Why not? And then Durkin says, why not just take the story from Knights of the Old Republic MMO? Yeah, dude, there's a lot of things that they could do that would make this successful. This thing, the amount of money that they spent on this, I think they spent over $1 billion on this thing. The amount of money that they spent on this thing, they should have known better than this. They should have known that if they just from the feedback they're getting in their stores with the merchandise that they're selling. Okay. Mm-hmm. They should have known better. They went into this basically thinking this was, I believe that they did this with the thinking that, you know, even with the you know, the bad press and everything that's been going on with The Last Jedi and Solo, They'll come. It's Star Wars. They'll come. Well, apparently
Make it the Star Wars that everybody loves and not the one you're trying to push.
Right. And that's what they needed to do. And that's what, and I guarantee you that with the park that with the Galaxy's Edge that they're currently building at the other park, and eventually they'll retool this one. That's eventually what they're going to do. They're going to have to. They have no choice. Unless they just want to keep throwing money down a hole. Which,
at the very worst, if you don't want to use the Star Wars movies, do something from the extended universe that people have spent money on, those books with Grand Admiral Thrawn and all that stuff, and Mara Jade and everything. At least the Star Wars fans that are out there would recognize some of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's just like me and you. Like if you just gotta make the place flavored. You just gotta make it Star Wars flavored. Like we were talking about, man. Show people arguing with stormtroopers and like the classic stormtroopers. Show IG-88 hiding in an alley somewhere, looking like he's ready to take down a bounty or something. You know, just you got to make it feel like that's the world that you know, and they're just not doing that.
Rob and I talked about having a ride where you're in a pod racer.
Yeah. Yeah, like we said, like they could actually put you could build a track all the way around that entire world, that entire part of the park, like a big long track, and you could have pod racers. Obviously, they're not going to be floating, but they could be connected to tracks, and literally you can go on a pod race, and obviously you're not really going to be piloting it, but you can go on this pod race that just goes crazy fast, and you do like a couple of laps. And there you go. You just experienced a piece of Star Wars.
Yep.
You know, and it's one of those things where you're just like, why? It's so obvious to everybody else. It doesn't make sense that they didn't see this coming.
Because you can even just have that be just a roller coaster. You don't even have to have your individual pod races. You just have a roller coaster that goes through basically the same terrain as in the pod race.
Yeah.
Done. There you go.
I mean, if you wanted to do it, you could do that. I think they could do the individual pod races though. You could have like you could have 2-seater pod races, 2-seater pod racers. You have like 5 of them next to each other, so 10 people at a time. Because with the Millennium Falcon, I think there's only like 6 people at a time on that ride. So, but yeah, and then the race is like, the race is like 5 minutes long. So every 5 minutes, you cycle 10 people through. There you go. There's a ride you could do. There's and that's just one of several other rides you could do. We said you could do one where you're in a simulated X-wing. Yeah. You get to reenact the Battle of Endor or something like that. There's so much stuff that they could do to make this better. They just don't. And it's like they're so adamant that they want to get away from original Star Wars that they're willing.
They're so adamant that you will buy what we will tell you.
Yeah,
that's their main thing right there.
But yeah, and like I said, it's the jig is up. The wizard has been revealed behind the curtain. They can't deny that this is happening now. So they're going to have to do one of two things. Either they're going to retool Galaxy's Edge or they're going to lower their prices. That's the only 2 options that they have, because people are clearly not going to go
for what they got.
For what they're getting. They're not going to pay that much for what they're getting. Okay, so on to something a little more positive, because everything's been negative so far.
Oh, don't worry. Well, I already told you about it, but
yeah,
a bit of a downer that I have. So
yeah, but Thor 4, Taika Waititi set to write direct sequel. Akira delayed again. Now, depending on your opinion, this could be a good thing.
Yes.
I am of the opinion that it's a good thing. I don't want them to make a live action Akira movie and not a Western Akira movie. I don't want them to do that.
I would love to see a live action Akira as long as they freaking do it right. Even if they base it off of the other movie, do it right. Don't add a bunch of other crap into it. Just tell the damn story.
Real quick, Durkin had one last thought on the whole Galaxy's Edge thing. They could also mess with people and have them huddle in a cavern during the Hoth battle from the second movie, then have an actor usher them into the Falcon to go on that ride. That would be cool. See, that's what they need to do. They need to make you feel like you're in the world. Okay? So like when you go to ride, like say you're going to ride on the Millennium Falcon or something, like do what he said, like have them like, okay, please go in, and you're in the caverns, like the rebel base on Hoth. And it's during the battle, and then like the battle's going on, and they're yelling to you, come on, we gotta go, come on. And they lead you to the Millennium Falcon, and like then you get cut off from the people that are defending you, like the wall caves in or something. And then the guy that's supposed to be Han's like, come on, let's go. And then you go on the Millennium Falcon ride. There you go. That's how you make that world feel alive. Stuff like that. I agree with you 100% on that, man. 100%. Anyway, onto this though. So Thor 4 has been greenlit. Taika Waititi, I'm gonna mess his name up every time. Is set to write and direct the sequel. This is the guy that did Thor Ragnarok. And Chris Hemsworth is expected to return, though he probably won't be playing Lebowski Thor with the beer gut. Thank you, God. I hated Lebowski Thor. Durkin is a genius and unemployed. These are the ideas you guys are missing out on. Dude, that's the thing that's really depressing about this whole thing that me and Frank were actually talking about. Is like, we're just a bunch of nerds coming up with stuff. These guys get paid to think this stuff up. They get paid for this. How are they not figuring this out?
Yeah, if one of these guys that are listening have a link to Disney, have them give us a
have them give us a freaking call, man. But
at right 4259 WRIGHT that Hollywood FB28, both our Twitter accounts.
Yeah, Frank just doxed us. Awesome. So this means Waititi's remake of Akira for Warner Bros. Is on hiatus. That remake, which nobody is excited about, was scheduled for May 21st of 2021 release. Akira is a seminal animated film from 1988 that popped Japanese anime on the map in the West. It's partially responsible for what eventually became the current anime boom in the US and Europe. Absolutely. The remake has been a Warner Bros. Slate since 2002. It's been that long. Original. Now, here's the thing. At the very least, at least they know that if they screw that movie up, they will die.
Yeah.
Original creator Katsuhiro Otomo recently announced that the original anime is being remastered in 4K for re-release. I will be buying that. And a new project, probably a TV anime more faithful to the original manga, is going to be in production. I will be watching and buying that. Yeah, I saw that, dude, and I was like, oh, yeah. Yes, please.
That's a long-ass series. That was a big book.
Yeah, dude. But you know what? They, dude, I would be all over that. Yeah, Diller Draw goes, ooh, yeah, dude, me too. Dude, a freaking, a 4K, first off, the 4K version of the original movie, I'm down with that. By the way, guys, Diller Draws is here. Appreciate you put up by, man. If somebody's got a link to John Dillard's to his YouTube, because I'm tripping over my words here again. Somebody, if one of the mods could drop a link in there for me, please. I appreciate it. Diller, I finally caught CBP. Yeah, dude. Like I said, man, with everything that's going on today, everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. I completely forgot that John Malin was doing his launch today. Thursday at this time is already pretty friggin' stacked up, but the fact that he's doing that right now, yeah, like nobody's getting views. It's going to be all over there. But yeah, dude, and then like you said, like if they're going to do a TV anime that's more faithful to the original manga, holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
Because one of the things is that guy, Otomo, the guy, the art that he did for the original series was insane.
Art and the story was just
yeah. I mean, but like one of the things, Mike S. Miller actually pointed this out, and I didn't realize this until I actually did some research on it. If you look at his art, when in areas where it's like there's dark shading, where there's black, he didn't spot those inks in there. He drew them in line by line. He basically he cross-hatched his freaking darks in. And for some of the work on that friggin' book, for him to do that, I would put a gun in my mouth. The amount of time it would take. It's ridiculous. See here, Durkin says if they want to make an anime series, they could do Gantz or Batum. Batum would be a great series that would make bank, and Liar Game would hit that Survivor Big Brother demographic. I don't think I've seen Batum. I remember Liar Game and Gantz. Dude, Gantz is another one that's like really freaking weird. It's have you seen any of the live action movie versions of that?
I haven't. I've read the first book and was like, this is really weird. There's some questions I would like to have answered, but I really didn't have any interest in reading any more of it.
Yeah, it's an interesting book, but yeah, man, it's a freaky book, man. But yeah, the artwork that he did on that series is insane. Especially the cityscapes alone are worth like just going and looking at that manga for. But yeah, like if they do a TV anime that's even more faithful to the original than the movie was, that's going to be cool as hell. For his part, Waititi has also been busy. He launched a used TV series version of his cult vampire comedy, What We Do in the Shadows. That was actually a really funny movie. What We Do in the Shadows. That was about the 3 vampires who were like roommates. And they're trying to adapt to modern life and everything. It was actually pretty funny. Dilladros, oh nice, thank you. I'm doing Scribattle, and I will steal all his viewers at 10 Eastern. Yeah. By the way, those are really fun. By the way, the Scribattles. Basically, it's John and a couple other artists, and they basically it's the crowd is guessing what they're drawing. It's basically win, lose, or draw. But it's a lot of fun, man. But yeah, What We Do in the Shadows was actually pretty cool. I don't know about the series. The movie was pretty funny. But yeah, I saw this and I'm like, well, I'll be honest, Thor is my favorite character in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love Chris Hemsworth. I love the way he plays Thor. He's the perfect guy to play Thor. Was not happy with what they did to him in Endgame. I didn't like Lebowski Thor. I'm very much down with a Thor that gets more in line with who he was. I hope that he dials the humor back a little bit, but I mean, the humor's fine, but I hope he dials it back a little bit. But I'll be honest with you, man, the fact that the Akira movie has been delayed, I'm actually okay with that.
As long as pushing it back means doing it right, I am all for it.
Yeah. And now if we could just Keanu Reeves to push back Cowboy Bebop, that'd be awesome. But
oh well, I don't know. After seeing John Wick, maybe he should do Trigun.
Trigun? Yeah. Actually, Trigun wouldn't be bad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather he ruin Trigun than. By the way, everybody, if you could hit like, hit subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, hit subscribe, hit like, and share this out. Greatly appreciate it because our channel is tiny. But yeah. So one other thing I wanted to talk about real quick. I'm not going to go over it real well because I'm actually going to do a video on this later. Is did you guys see this thing where Evan Rachel Wood's basically goes after the Jim Hopper character from Stranger Things?
Mm-mm.
I did not.
She basically, long story short, she basically said she should never. Here's her tweet: "You should never date a guy like the cop from Stranger Things. Extreme jealousy and violent rages are not flattering or sexy, like TV would have you believe. That is all." Okay, this is coming from a woman who plays a murderous robot. Talking about jealous and violent rages. The character of Jim Hopper, he doesn't go into violent rages. He gets mad. He plays a dad who's raising a teenage daughter, and on top of that, she's got freaking superpowers. And it's set in the 80s, so he's completely out of his element. He's like her boyfriend is treating him like crap. He basically does what a dad would do. He goes in and he lays down the law. That's it. That's what she's talking about. And as far as his anger, he gets angry at one point because he gets stood up. But I didn't know if you guys had watched the season 3 of Stranger Things yet. I wanted to talk about this, but yeah.
Apparently been another 5 years before it comes out on DVD. So
anyway, I'm gonna do a video on this later on my own. But I just thought maybe if you guys saw it, we'd talk about it a little bit. But I saw this and I'm just like, yeah, you know what? You need to shut up. Your own show sucks. The first season, you know what? The first season of Westworld was actually pretty good. The second season was awful. Her character, Dolores, is not the best character on it. She's the main character in the show, and she's not the best character on the show. Tandy Newton's character is her character Maeve is way better. Way better. I would watch the series based around that character before I would watch the one about the stories about Dolores. So yeah, it's just a bunch of, you know, disingenuous crap. You know, she's talking about how he's violent and everything, and yet the character she plays in the, you know, in her movie is like, in her series is like the most evil human being on the planet. Well, she's not a human being. She's the most evil creature on the planet. So anyway, Dilla Draws is, I feel like they nerfed Thor, but then made him funny and aloof to compensate. I think it equals out. Troubles of pitiful mortals. Thor is too Dirk and Thor's too manly for them. I've seen it. It was okay. I think he's talking about Stranger Things. Yeah, it was pretty uneven. I honestly don't know, and I don't know if the guys who created it know if they're going to be able to do a season 4 on it, because, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, whatever. 2 is a carbon copy of 1. At least 3 felt like a new story. I challenged Road to a Battle for Leadership of War campaign. Have at it, man. I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole. Dirk, can I stop watching Westworld after the 3rd episode of the 2nd season? And Stranger Things season 1 doesn't seem good to me. Stranger Things season 1 actually gets better as it goes along. I agree that season 2 was kind of a carbon copy of season 1, and 3 does feel like a new story. I just think that the story that they wanted to do, I think the story that they did, people are interpreting it in different ways, and I think that that's confusing for some people. I do think that like I said, I do think season 3 was very uneven, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. And David Harbour's a character. You know, he's the best actor on that show. All right, Jim Hopper is the best character on that show. I love that dude. I stopped. Season 1 seemed good to me. I don't like the new film grain they use for season 3. You could tell they flexed. Yeah, it's like I said. There are pluses and minuses for season 3. I'm not really paying attention to Stranger Things while watching it because it's on the background while I'm at work. Yeah, it's to me, compared to most of like 90% of the stuff that's out there, I still think Stranger Things is pretty good. I do think that they kind of made this season to feel like they could end it here if they wanted to, but they did open it up for the possibility that there's going to be more going on. I think one of the problems, the biggest problem with season 3, I think, is that they got too caught up in their own little callbacks to the 80s. Like there's so many friggin' moments where they're talking about New Coke that I'm just like, yeah, okay, we get it. New Coke sucks. It's like, I lived it, man. I don't need to see it. How dare they introduce lesbians in that show? Hot lesbian action. Oh my God, Diller Jaws Hopper is great, dude. Hopper's the best. Like I said, he's the best character on that show. He's your typical exasperated, done with everybody's crap American man. He's the dad that goes, listen, this is my house, and if you want to date, like he says, if you want to date my daughter, you're gonna show respect to my boundaries, or else I'm gonna kill you. He's the typical American dad who has a daughter, and some snot-nosed punk kid is treating him like crap, and he's like, yeah, that's not gonna fly. So I loved, like I said, I can separate the work from the work from the actor. David Harbour's, he said some pretty crappy things in the past, but I think he's a good actor, and I love this character that he plays in this show. This character he plays is awesome. Dirk, and Lucifer's Best has orgies, so auto wins. We're talking about different shows now here, man. Yeah, but it's, oh my God. But yeah, I mean, I understand the issues that people have with the third season. I had issues with the second season. Like I said, it felt like a rehash of the first one. But they put him in modern sitcom situation. He acts like a real person just to have a sitcom dad. Yeah, that's exactly the thing. He doesn't react like, I understand, and I understand that you're growing and you're changing, you have boundaries. No, he acts like a real dad would. It's like, no, this is my house, these are my rules. You're gonna shut the hell up because you're the minor here, and I'm the parent. And that's the way it works. He's the guy. You can tell he cares and everything, but he's gonna, he's like, hey, I'm exasperated with this crap, and I'm not gonna hold it in. So. But yeah, I'll talk about it a little. I did a whole thing. I wrote down a whole thing about what I'm going to talk about, what she says, because she does the typical thing, and she keeps doubling down because people were telling her that she was, wrong and, being stupid, which she obviously was. But yep, that's what I got, guys. Tom, you had something you wanted to talk about?
Yes, I did. This past weekend, Friday, I believe, Emily Hartridge died in a
car wreck, right?
Well, she was on a scooter, I guess, and was hit by a truck. So,
yeah, she started off on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube star Emily Hartridge dies after accident at age 35.
I really loved her stuff. Her 10 Reasons Why. Her other stuff, like when she went on vacation and like filmed that and stuff, I've never really been interested in those. But a lot of her 10 Reasons Why things were really funny. Yeah, and it's really, really sad that she has passed. And some of her ones that she would do, like she actually sat down and like on some of her stuff and talked about having like mental breakdowns and depression and stuff like that. Those were interesting. But I really did like her 10 Reasons Why. Most of them really did make me laugh, and especially the one on cats was really.
Yeah, this and like I was telling you earlier, this is like really surprising because this is like the second person in this week that died in a crazy car crash. Because if you're a boxing fan or you follow any kind of combat sports, Pernell Whitaker got killed in a car wreck just a couple of days ago. Which I'm like, what's going on with are the old people driving? Because it's like, what the hell, man? Like, these people are getting killed left and right in car wrecks. But yeah, it's unfortunate. She's only 35 years old too, man. Pernell Whitaker, I think he was in his early 50s. But yeah, that dude, he was an amazing boxer, man. He was a defensive. He was kind of like the prototype for Mayweather before Mayweather showed up. But yep, that's unfortunate. But
yeah, makes me sad.
Okay, but yeah, anybody got anything else, guys?
Just Tom needs to watch Orville.
Yeah,
I do need to watch Orville.
Yeah, Tom needs to watch Orville. We all need to go buy 4K Akira and then watch the new series when it comes out. But
And get
okay,
real
guys.
Hey, then plug your
Oh
indie.
yeah, my indie for the week.
Yeah.
Where did I put my indie for the week? Oh, dang it! I had a link set up and everything. Hang on a minute. Where's my Indiegogo? There's a whole book. There's so many of them, dude.
Yeah.
Kill you. Okay. And let me find it. There it is.
Did you find it yet?
Yeah, I found it. I mean, I'm grabbing a link now. The book's called Soul Finder, and it's pretty interesting. At least it is to me. And let me put this up here. Paste and go. The cover's what grabbed me. I was like, whoa. So like, where's that cover at, man? This is by Douglas Ernst. The pitch is Soulfinder Demon's March, a major order of exorcists, all combat veterans, battle evil that most people cannot fathom. Where is that cover? It's down here somewhere, I believe. The internal art, it's not bad. Internal art looks, pretty good. Not so. I'm a detail guy. Don't know who they were, but still had to hear. Peace, y'all. Yeah, take care, John. I appreciate it, everybody. Mox is here. What's up, brother? Soulfinder Demon March. But no, I'm a detail oriented guy. I like a lot of detail. So this more simplistic style is not what I usually go for. But it's not bad. I mean, the perspective looks good.
Yeah.
And it all depends on what the story is like. But it's actually, yeah, this is the thing that makes me sad is do they still have the different covers? I think you can still get the different covers. Let me find the actual covers so I can stop talking about them. Yeah, okay. So yeah. So what's that?
Was it just the Soulfire with the priest on it, that cover, or is there a different one you're talking about?
That covers, that's the main cover, I believe. That's just the basic cover with the priest on it. Go back to that. And I don't want to, let's play the video. No, let's not play the video. We don't have time. I'm so indecisive, man. I swear to God. But Matthew Weldon did a couple of pinups and covers for it, and Matthew Weldon, in my opinion, is one of the best artists out there today, man. This dude is amazing. He does a book. I think I've mentioned it a couple of times before, but I'm gonna mention it again. He does a book called Punchline for Antarctic Press. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. He's a mainstay on Drawn and Cold.
So
what's that?
I'm gonna be reading that tomorrow night. I got the first graphic novel.
Yeah, it's really, dude. I like it. It's really cool. The guy who writes it was watching the last Drawn and Quartered. So he's a good dude. But yeah, Matthew Weldon is he's an amazing artist, man. But yeah, like I said, like the covers drew me in. The idea of the book is pretty cool too. We see here. People have wondered for ages, why do bad things happen to good people? This is exactly what Father Patrick Reddick, a Catholic priest who was wounded in combat during his youth, is asked at the start of Soulfinder Demon's March. And it's the question he must grapple with after he becomes involved in a series of supernatural events. So this is actually this is a page from the book. That's brutal, man. But Redder is the parish priest in the small, quiet town of Steepleton, Maryland, assigned to the tiny locale. Despite his expertise in demonology and the occult, Ritter is often called upon by county authorities to advise him on matters with religious significance. Things don't stay quiet for long, as a series of related deaths imply that a great evil has been released in Steepton, waiting to arise.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun. Yeah, it's like I wish I don't know why he doesn't have a picture of this cover. that we can all grab real quick, because that cover, he had a picture of it originally, and it was freaking amazing. So, yeah, Holy Order perk has been added with original art by Matthew Weldon. My God, that's so freaking awesome. More tiers. So they added, it actually, they reached a couple of their stretch goals. They're up to 64 pages now, which is cool. Some really nice art, man. Like I said, I'm an art guy, so art's one of the first things that my eye gravitates to.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this looks pretty cool. I think the basic, the basic book is only $15, which is like $10 cheaper than most Indiegogo books. So it's a good deal on top of that. So, and yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So, yep, check it out, guys. Why am I not following this? What the? Oh, it logged me out for some reason. What the heck? Anyway, yeah. So check this book out, guys. I think it's pretty cool. They've already met their flex goal. What is their next perk? Their next perk, I think, is it 25K? I scroll all the way down to the bottom of this thing, and it's not there. Anyway, oh my God, I'm wrecking this. All right.
Looks good though.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, the art looks cool. It's got an interesting storyline. If you're into like horror comics and stuff, I think this is probably going to be a pretty cool one. But yeah, and you know, those covers and that artwork from Matthew Weldon, man, I think that's worth it for the price of admission alone. So, especially if you can get to a convention one of these days and have Matthew sign it. But yep, check it out, guys, and you know, let's see how well they do, because it looks like they're doing pretty well. They got 28 days left. Oh my God, they got a long time. Wow. Okay.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah, probably got to go now. I just saw something fly down the street. It's getting a bit windy out there.
Yeah, I just looked back and I saw that, and I'm like, holy crap, dude. Because Tom and I live in the same. We're like maybe like 20 minutes away from each other. So the weather here is getting crappy. So all right, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here, guys. I appreciate everybody being here. That's our show for today. Thanks for everyone who showed up. Greatly appreciated. Always is. Well,
spit it out.
I'm trying, dude. As always, you can find us right here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you like what you saw today, please hit like and subscribe. Share the channel out. And leave a comment below. Tell us how we can improve, because we desperately need it. It's all greatly appreciated. But I'm Comic Book Bob.
I'm Tom.
I'm Frank.
And thanks for being here, guys. Take care.